Congratulations! If you're watching this video, you probably have your precious little newborn at home with you, or you're about to meet them in those last few days and weeks of pregnancy. If that is you, you're in the right place, and this video is for you. I want to walk through what does life look like after birth. You've been under care, you've been consistently getting adjusted throughout your pregnancy, and now you don't know what to do. Do we keep coming back at the same frequency? How soon do I come in after birth? Let me answer those questions. Let me clarify everything and point you in the right direction. So there's two main questions we get at this season of life, right after birth when someone has been under prenatal care. And the first question is, now what? Do I even still come back? I came for prenatal care. The baby's done. Do I just come back next pregnancy? That is definitely not our recommendation. We want to take advantage of this unique opportunity to set your body up on the right path towards healing. But the first question is when can I do this, right? Thankfully, there is no necessary waiting period after giving birth. You can come straight to Thrive on your way home from the hospital, on your way home from the midwife center, right after you have a home birth. There is no too soon to get adjustments. But the way that we go about those adjustments is going to look very, very differently depending on how you're feeling, depending on how birth went, if there was different interventions used, if there was tearing, if you had a C-section. That adjustment process is going to look very different. For example, we're not going to be laying on our belly if we just had a C-section. We can do adjustments seated, or maybe on your hands and knees, or maybe just in the supine laying on your back position. We will do whatever we need to get you the relief, to get you the improvement your body needs without any unnecessary discomfort or tenderness or anything like that. So you don't have to wait. You can show up right away, but we really encourage within those first 1 to 2 weeks. And the reason for that is this is a really unique opportunity to make a change, to make a difference in your health that is harder to do at other times. Because at this point, right after birth, all of those hormonal changes, relaxin that loosens ligaments and makes soft tissue more unstable, all of that is still present, but you don't have the physical demands of being pregnant, right? So you're in this sweet spot of able to make changes more easily because we don't have as much structure and stability without those negative physical strains and physical traumas. So this is a really, really good spot to set you on the right foundation for postpartum health and for healing and wellness and beyond this postpartum season. So really, really encourage getting in the office as soon as you can after birth. Really in that first 1 to 2 weeks is the target. So that's one of the questions, right? What do I do as mom? How soon do I come back in? What does that look like? Oh, and last piece of that, I should say, even if you were coming more frequently, this is not a time that I more often than not think you should be here 3 times a week and really coming a lot. Maybe there's exceptions if mom's really struggling with certain things, if baby is getting adjusted and they are dealing with some challenges from a rough birth process. There's absolutely times where kids or moms do need to be seen more frequently after birth, but in general, that is not the goal. We want you at home, barely getting out of bed, right? Resting, snuggling that newborn as much as possible, not having to leave the house and do anything. So once to twice a week is generally the starting point for that after birth in that first couple of weeks. But that's a very fluid conversation that we're going to, change based on how you're doing, how baby's doing, and all of that. Which that is the second main question is, what about baby? I've heard about this pediatric newborn chiropractic thing. How do I know if a kid might need adjusted? Well, the biggest indicator of that is actually what you just went through. It's that birth process. The missing piece in so many health journeys and health struggles for kids is that birth process, is understanding how we enter the world makes a huge difference. Even if birth is perfect, even if it's super chill, super uneventful, nothing really goes wrong and it's as boring as possible, that's a huge deal for you. It's a huge deal for a newborn. That carries a lot of trauma and stress and weight on it. And then it's even more true if there's interventions like C-section or forceps or vacuum extraction, or even just the incredibly common pulling, turning, twisting on that gentle and sensitive head and neck. All of those things are going to massively increase the trauma or the damage that's done, especially in this sensitive brainstem area. That area for babies, for everyone really, is the most important part of your nervous system. And some of the nerves controlling latching and spitting up and fussiness or tension and sleep and constipation, all of those things are functions that are regulated in that key area. So if there's stress and there's trauma done to that, chances are you're going to have a stressed out and cranky and fussy baby. And that's actually what this little referral pad is for. This is something that other maybe pediatricians, birth workers use to know when might a kid benefit from pediatric chiropractic. Different birth indicators, different things that they're dealing with symptom-wise, or physical indicators like a head preference and rotation, or latching better on one side or the other, tongue ties, all of that. I'm going to post this picture here on the blog post, on this video, wherever you're seeing it, so you can see what they're looking for and what our indicators are. And so if those things are present, absolutely that kid needs adjusted, needs checked out. But honestly, our favorite way to see a baby and to meet them is if everything is perfect. If birth went amazing, if they're latching and feeding really well, if they're sleeping and chill, checking that kid out and making sure they are on the right path for health is our favorite thing to do, because it means we get to avoid all of those other problems and challenges and stresses and struggles that might show up. So regardless of what birth was like, or regardless of what sort of struggles or questions you have, reach out, right? We're here to check in on you, check in on whatever baby needs, and help guide you through that process. I know a lot of the new parents that are maybe unfamiliar with chiropractic are also kind of concerned about, well, what do you mean a baby getting adjusted? That sounds like really rough, really intense. Like, what's that like? I don't want my newborn to go through that. That is not the case at all. Gentle pediatric chiropractic adjustments are super specific, super gentle. There's no more pressure used than the pressure you might use to check the ripeness of a tomato or an avocado, right? So baby Sophia, my little friend here, is getting adjusted. She might just be in my arms like this, and I can make that little gentle correction. She might be in mom's arms. She might be resting up kind of on her belly with me. She might sleep through the whole thing. That's how easy this process is. So don't stress about this. We're not doing like crazy baby twisting and WWE smashing on kids. Not happening. Otherwise, I would never encourage you to take your baby to the chiropractor. This process looks much, much differently than that. So once again, guys, congrats. Excited that you are not pregnant anymore, or you're nearing that point of life, and cannot wait to get you back on track in the office, meet your little one, and make sure that everybody is thriving.